Hello and welcome back to Sizzle Bacon. Today I'm at Stepford Central Station to take a train to the least used station in SCR, Ellesmere Pond.
East, St Helens Bridge, New Harrow, Ellesmere Pond, Ellesmere Junction, and Berrily. This train is formed of 3 coaches. Train is formed of 3 coaches.
Before we explore the station, let me tell you a few things about Ellesmere Pond. It was first introduced in version 1.1 along with the Morganstown branch line. Its services include Stepford Victoria, Stepford Central, and Willowfield, with services only going to Berrily. The first route to be introduced was only from Stepford Victoria to Berrily. You will also know that express and Airlink trains pass by on separate tracks, and for those who wish to get a train to Morganstown must change at Ellesmere Junction and or St Helens Bridge. If you exit Ellesmere Pond Station on the southbound side towards Berrily, you will see the actual pond that is near the station, hence the name it gets, Ellesmere Pond. And now we will explore the rest of the station. And now for station facilities. As you can see, we are outside Ellesmere Pond and we are in a residential street with a row of houses, which is pretty handy if you're living right beside the station. There is also an information board which displays absolutely nothing, not showing a timetable, on services, or even about the local area. As we enter the station, there are ticket machines, validators, a footbridge to the other platform, benches, dot matrix displays, and waiting shelters on both platforms. Other than that, though, apart from the pond, of course, there's nothing really else at Ellesmere Pond. There's, of course, a level crossing that you can cross to get to Ellesmere Junction Station, but other than that, there's really nothing else. Of course, you have the other lines, the Express and Airlink, but they just pass through the station. They don't stop at it, of course. And now, on to station statistics. I now speak to you from the waiting shelter on platform 2 to talk to you about station statistics and why Ellesmere Pond is the least used station in the entirety of SCR. Here is an image on screen now showing the station popularity. Obviously, it's SCR, you can't actually measure the passenger numbers, so according to stepfordcountyrailway.co.uk, or also known as the SCR Hub, it measures trains departed from each station. So technically we are measuring driver numbers, but what the chart shows is how many times a train has departed from each station And what it does is counts trains regardless of whether they were dispatched by a dispatcher or had a guard on board. There are 65 stations in SCR on the entire network, which includes all lines, and Ellesmere Pond obviously clearly ranks 65th with the amount of drivers stopping or departing Ellesmere Pond is 27,966, and this data has been collected since the 5th of November 2023. And when you divide the total figure of Ellesmere Pond's driver numbers of 27,966 divided by 365, you get an estimate daily figure of 76.61. That means an average of nearly 77 people a day drive through Ellesmere Pond. Now, obviously, many people would like to think that Rosedale Village or Newry Harbour would be the least used station. For example, Rosedale Village is 64th, so it's the second least used station on the entire network, but you would think it would be because it looks more desolate. Um, but in passenger numbers, it probably would be, but because it's train departing figures, clearly the route that Rosedale Village is on, which is to Esterfield, is more popular than services passing through Ellesmere Pond. Obviously, before these statistics were accounted for, before the 5th of November, you sort of had to speculate yourself on what the least used station or the most desolate station in SCR would be. Obviously, before the Newry update, Newry Harbour was one of these speculated stations to be the least used in terms of passenger numbers, just for fun, because, it just looked that way. And obviously, it actually was, well, it just had a single platform at the time, and there was freight terminals outside, which there are now. Um, Another station that people probably would have considered to be the least used station in SCR is Upper Staplow, which I wouldn't blame people for because it is quite desolate in itself. The old station that obviously was never opened is the most desolate station ever. Um, like Ellesmere Pond, though, it also has a residential area in its surrounding space. So, but if we look actually on the statistics, Upper Staplow is it's nowhere near it's nowhere near the bottom. In fact, Upper Staplow ranks number 29th with 228,760 drivers passing through the station. So, although it may look and may be in the most desolate space, it is definitely more used than Ellesmere Pond is. So, it's quite a surprise actually, because Ellesmere Pond is up there and it is. It's clearly the least used station in terms of train numbers in SCR, but other places will obviously look more desolate as they are in the countryside. Ellesmere Pond is not. But yeah, that's it for Ellesmere Pond, and now to get the train home.